are not going to get anywhere in this world. You're not going to get anywhere financially, spiritually, socially, or otherwise until you get to that point where you don't give a damn about what other people think about you.
What's up, buddy? How are you today?
I'm pretty good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What's your name?
My name's Bill.
All right, Billy.
Yeah.
So today I want to ask you 5 questions, Bill, because I see you on the street. So I'm intrigued to know what happened and how you reach on the street. So I need 5 biggest mistakes that you made that put you where you are today.
I mean, to start off, it'd probably be dropping out of high school. That'd be the beginning.
Yeah.
After that, it'd probably be drugs and alcohol. That was the big part. And mismanaging my money. Going along with what other people say. Not taking responsibility. Not paying my bills. Not being not going to work when I should have. That's a big part of it. And thinking that it's all gonna somehow be taken care of by somebody else. That's a big part. And there's a lot of reasons why you continue to stay out here. It's like because it's so hard once you get to this point, to bring yourself back up, and like people give you a chance to do that. It's like to get back to work. It's hard to get a shower and get clothes, and you're when it's hard when you're hungry. It's like to go. It's really hard to go back to work when you can't eat. That's a big part of it too. It's like you got dirty clothes, nobody wants to hire you. It's a downward spiral.
So your situation is caused by you or downfall by someone else?
Situations caused by what?
What caused your situation? Was the downfall started by you or?
Oh, it was most certainly me. Yeah, most certainly. Like I said, the drugs and alcohol in my early 20s.
Early 20s?
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
I'm 45 now.
You've been on it since then? Since in the 20s?
I've been homeless since I was about 30, 31.
Yeah, that's a lot of years been homeless.
Yeah. So,
is that by choice?
No, not at all. It's just, I had a lot of problems, with my mom and dad were alcoholics, and, that kind of threw me into the whole scene, and from there on out, I'm not blaming them. That's definitely, I take responsibility of it.
Yeah.
It's like, but, there's certain things I should have done, like, stayed in school for one, and kept my jobs. Definitely not listen to people. That's a big part. It's, just, come hang out with us, go do this on the weekend, and it turned out to be an everyday thing. And all of a sudden you have no money, you have no job, you're getting kicked out of your place. All of a sudden you're living on the streets, and you're lucky if you get a tent. That's the whole thing. It's like, and it's not easy once you get there. You're dirty. You can't get clothes. You can't get food. People look at you differently.
Yeah.
It's like you're definitely profiled when you walk into a store. It's like they don't want you there. It's like it's hard. It's hard to get back on your feet. It really, really is. And not to say I couldn't have. It's just it's really hard once you get, like I said, once you get to that point, you just don't. You don't have much will to do anything else because it's so hard to get back to where you were.
So, what motivates you day by day? What keeps you motivated?
Unfortunately, survival, food. Like that's a big part of it. It's like, people think that you're living this glorious life on the street. You're not doing anything. You're lazy, but it's not necessarily true. It's like it's a hard world. It's like. You work every day to get what normal people would just,
There's still a job out here in the streets.
It's way more than a job. It's overtime for sure. It's like all the time you're looking for something,
So, if you should go back 10 years, what would you do different?
I would definitely lay the alcohol and the drugs down for sure. That's the number one thing. The other one would be to keep my job. You know, like that's very important. Like that's really more important than anything else is to be stable, and you know that keeps you from doing all these other things because you don't have the time to do that. You know you're focused on your job, and that's what you should do to stay out of this situation. That's really number one thing is to work. You know, that's the truth. If
So,
you can, you know.
tell me what a regular day is like from waking up in the morning.
Well, if you wake up in the morning, I mean, that's sometimes you sleep all night because it's cold. You know, and that's another part of it. You know, you might not sleep. You know, you wake up and hopefully you go out and you know you try to find some way to get something to eat. You know, to start with something. You know, to maybe clean up if you can find somewhere that'll let you do that. And get something to drink. You know, that's always the thing. You know, liquid. You know, and a lot of these places won't even let you get water. You know, they'll charge you for a cup or whatever. You know, or can you go in their bathroom? Maybe not. Maybe they won't give you the key. You know, so it's tough. And then you know that's just the morning. You know,
That's just the morning.
just the morning. You know, lunchtime comes around. It's the same thing. You're hungry. Maybe you'll find something. Maybe you won't. You know. And you know, as it gets further into the day, you start worrying about what are you gonna do for the night again? You know, it's like, are you gonna stay warm tonight? Are you gonna have anything to eat? Are you gonna have to deal with some crazy people out there on the streets harassing you? I mean, that happens too. You know, I've had that more than once for sure. You know, people trying to take what you have, and you don't have much, so.
You gotta protect what you do have.
You got to protect what you got, and people will take it if you let them. You know, and that. And police, I haven't even mentioned that. You know, they will definitely harass you and try to make you leave, for sure. But where do you go? You know, and jail's not a home. You know, it's just another cycle of. I go to jail, and then what? Then you release me, and then I'm worse off than I was before.
You gotta play catch up.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're lucky, like I said, you can come up and hopefully somebody will help you and maybe give you some work and maybe you can clean up somehow. And
So when the police they'll hold you, how long they hold you for?
huh?
When the police they hold you, how long they hold you for?
It depends on what you've done, but I mean, if you like, if you're asking for money, that's a charge. If you're asking,
That's a charge.
oh yeah, I mean, panhandling is what they call it. You know, it's like just sitting there. I mean, you don't even have to ask for money. You can just be sitting there, and they can arrest you.
So when they do that, like just for that, how long they hold you for?
I mean, you could stay in, you know, if you went to the court date, you know, it could be a couple months, or you could just plead guilty, which is what they want you to do. And then they may let you out in a week or so. But then when you go back out, like I said, what do? You know, you go back to the same situation and they'll arrest you again. You know, or loitering, you know, if you're hanging out around a place, you know, trying to get air conditioning during the summer or heat during the winter, you know, they'll kick you out or they'll arrest you. You know, so it's hard, you know. Like I said, like you end up in the woods, and you end up not wanting to be in contact because you don't want to go to jail, you know. Or worse, I mean, be harassed by people and that don't understand what you've gone through, you know. And you know, not everybody on the street is, you know, bad people. You know, yeah, there's a lot of them that are, and you know, most of it is drugs or alcohol or, you know, mental illness or. I mean, some people are there, unfortunately, because of finances, and you know, maybe they had a lot of kids or something, and you know, they tried to pay their bills, and the state took them away, and they got evicted. And I mean, there are people that give up because of that. You know, when their kids are taken away. You know, I've heard that a few times. I've seen that a couple times. You know, it's tough. You know, it's like, and if you have any family, like, definitely reach out to them because. you're lucky. You know,
Mm,
not everybody has that.
that's true.
Yeah.
So, before we close off right now, I want you to tell my people one last thing before you go. Let them know what brought you here and what is a sign. Let them know the signs of the beginning when they know that you're going the way that you're in right now.
When you start to live, you know, that life, that party life that you think's okay, like maybe you started on the weekends or something, or you know, drank a couple drinks here, or smoked a joint, or did that, or you know, whatever. When it starts to be, you know, an everyday occurrence, or you wake up in the morning doing it, that's a big sign that you need to change your life. Or you know, your boss tells you you're doing something wrong, or you know, or your bills are piling up and you're not paying them. You know, you think it'll be okay. It won't. You know, you'll end up where I am. And you'll be asking for money every day and trying to get back ahead. And I hope that if it happens to you, I hope that you can bring yourself back out. Because most people don't. You know? I mean, like I said, a lot of them are good people, but, you know, other people don't see them that way. You know, there's something, they're scum or they're whatever, or, you know, they're bad people, or, you know, they're criminals, or not all of us are, man. You know, some of us just had a bad go, or, you know, or had, you know, substance problems, or maybe they have, you know, mental illness, or, like I said, I mean, it can happen to anybody and for any reason, you know. Don't think you're above it. You might be watching this video and think, oh, that'll never happen to me.
True.
You know? But it will. If you let it. I mean, tell your kids, you know, if you have kids, make sure that you teach them right. And, you know, keep your job, stay in school. You know, if you do have a drink or whatever, be responsible with it, you know. It's like, keep it to, you know, a minimum. Don't do it on a daily, you know. That's very important. It really is. And it's like, you know, look out for one another. I mean, that's the big thing. It's like, and the other thing is, if you have family, stick by them, because that's the most important thing.
All right, buddy.
Amen.
Really appreciate the time.
Yeah, man.
One love.